Bless you. The general in the freaking house, baby, with Austin Greene. I got Big Mike over here, Papa John coming on. It's December 16th, 2024. God bless you all. Of course, Jesus is King. Kids, you've been having fun skiing last couple days. What do you think about the slopes? We got some fresh powder.
Yep, it was great. So we skied out from the Stein Eriksen Lodge, came back in from the Stein Eriksen Lodge.
Yeah, very beautiful. Well, there's all kinds of different properties here. So we've got Montage Resort, you can ski in and ski out. You've got the St. Regis, you can ski in and ski out. Condominium developments. Many of you don't know the Park City is gonna freaking grow 3 times its normal size. They're opening up an entirely new mountain set. So all the properties, of course, islandproject.com owns is ski in and ski out. So we come to you broadcasting from the lodge. God bless you all. Our latest acquisition and more huge announcements, shocking announcements coming for our community. We've got more properties under contract, beachfront for all of you. So we want to congratulate everybody tuning in. It has been a wild couple of years. I was thinking about this earlier this morning, but when I was throwing chairs in the pool, telling everyone to get in and to buy Bitcoin at 3,500, and now Bitcoin just crushed 107K. 107,000 is a new all-time record high. I believe it's going much, much higher. You should be taking profits. I've been advising all clients to do that. I've been advising our members to take profits, of course, in Bitcoin and XRP. Super, super important. You're going to want to do that because we're now entering what I believe is the mania phase. And this is presenting a lot of opportunity for all y'all tuning in. You know, this is so big. Blockchain is so huge that the entire world is going to be tokenized. So I want you to think about every asset class, real estate, gold, stocks, things of value that keep pace with inflation will be tokenized. And I think that that's going to be much of the theme in 2025 is tokenized real world assets. So huge developments. I'll just give you kind of a little bit of a sneak peek of what I think is going to happen next. I do believe that Ethereum is the most obvious play right now. I think it's going to break new all-time highs. We're going to see it approach 4,800 and then I think crush through 5,000. So that's going to be a massive, massive opportunity. Altcoins will continue to follow. Papa John, come on over here. You're in the festive holiday spirit. We're also going to give an update too on our incredible progress, execution of perfect execution of the entire islandproject.com roadmap. More acquisitions coming. And also just a big congratulations to all the members because this is just massive. Yeah. Papa John, why don't you sit right here, Mike? Why don't you kind of just move Mike, there for Papa John?
Move your butt for me. Get out of here, Mike.
Papa John, so how are you enjoying yourself? We're out here in beautiful Park City.
I'm loving it, right? Great memories. We spent a lot of time here many years ago, and it's been probably 20, 25 years since I've been back, but we used to ski when, believe it or not, the general was this size, and his little brother was a little bit smaller. So good to be here, and good to see everybody out there in our community. And God bless you all. We're doing great things, as the general as Chris has mentioned. And also, congrats on everybody that's doing well with their Bitcoin.
Absolutely,
super happy for everybody.
Yeah, well, you know, the sky's the limit, and really it's just getting started. And I think people are starting to understand how ubiquitous the blockchain revolution is. I mean, this is going to transform every aspect of life. I mean, quite literally, blockchain is moving towards integration of all the economies, currency reset, real estate, gold, the stock market. I mean, this is bigger than cell phones or the internet, which is why I've been so passionate about it, and I've been promoting it, telling people to buy it, recommending it, teaching about it at our world-class schools for going on nearly a decade now. And let's talk about that for a minute, because this is also a warning to brothers and sisters out there and Christians tuning in and God first, faith first individuals, because you've been set up. And this was my primary point over the last decade, that this was one big setup. They were setting you up into the reset. We must keep in mind that at some point, any president, whether or not that's Trump or somebody else, is going to defend the US dollar at some point. And they actually want people getting into crypto. This is a kind of a key aspect I think a lot of you discounted, didn't really understand at first, or at least the general public didn't understand this, is that they actually want the American people in crypto. They were just lying to you at first because they wanted to buy cheap, steal your bags, make you broke and poor, which is why I told you to buy it. And then later on, after BlackRock and all the hedge funds and criminal Wall Street went full force in, they would then mainstream it. And they'd start switching their tune, just like Donald Trump originally called Bitcoin a scam. Now his son Eric Trump says Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million. Well, by the way, it's going to go much, much higher than that. It's going to go to 2 to 3 million, could even go as high as 13 million as it takes out gold's market cap. And especially if Donald Trump establishes a strategic national security reserve. This is how important Bitcoin is. It could feasibly go to $13 million per coin. So I just want people to understand what's happening, and also why this has happened is because a criminal central bank that prints worthless trash currency from nothing and prints it into infinity creates massive intentional by design currency inflation. So for example, if you had $1 million at the bank in like the 1960s, it's almost worthless today. You've lost over 40, maybe 50% of your money based on the CPI index. This is a fact. So if you've held dollars, you are poor. And see, the rich understand this fundamentally, and it's why we designed islandproject.com the way that we did, because the real elites and the wealthy, and we've democratized this to average people, and they don't want you to own this stuff. They don't want you to own the $33.5 million beachfront properties that you see on my dad's head right here at islandproject.com, because the very wealthy have their money in assets that keep up with the inflation trend, and then of course exceed that inflationary mechanism. They keep very little money in their bank actually to pay expenses, whether or not they're paying owning stocks, or they own gold, or they own real estate, or now they own Bitcoin. Now, of course, all the major players, everybody you know, all the oligarchs. Elon Musk is now, notably the wealthiest person on the planet, supposedly. He could donate $1 million to every single person on the planet and still be the richest person on planet Earth.
I'm ready.
Yeah, well, feel free, Elon Musk.
Get Elon on the phone right now, would you?
But the point being is that this has all been by design from the very get-go. And we have a very big problem in America now. My dad and I were talking about this, and this is why I've been so passionate in recent years, teaching, educating, promoting, recommending, telling you to buy Bitcoin, telling you to fire your crappy financial advisors that are frankly stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Never recommended Bitcoin. They told you it was a scam. They've made you broke. They've made you poor. Is because I knew that they were pushing us into a great financial, economic wealth transfer reset, and they were going to destroy the middle class. And this is what they've done. And this is a problem Trump has too, is all this wealth is now aggregating to few individuals, few oligarchs, big tech, Elon Musk, the government contracts, all this, while the middle class mostly still doesn't own Bitcoin, still doesn't own Ethereum, doesn't even know what XRP is, still thinks tokenization is a scam, while we approach a multi-trillion-dollar market cap and new records, which will be bigger than the internet, cell phones, and social media and e-commerce combined. So this is a real big problem, and I want you to understand why we designed Island Project. Islandproject.com is a democratized access opportunity where you tuning in own the best real estate with no bank debt you normally couldn't afford, with all the benefits of traditional ownership. Again, that includes capital gains pro rata the units you own with us. We have members with 1,000 units, $1 million in Island Project. Families combined that hold millions of dollars with us. Let's say their $1 million investment's worth $5 million 10 years from now. They just booked a $4 million gain. They get all the benefits of access, some use, which is really cool in our private ecosystem, so it's fun. It's a lifestyle enhancement, no bank debt, plus income, all the same benefits of traditional real estate ownership. It's that simple and easy to understand. And we have provided access to the asset that you normally couldn't afford. Again, BlackRock does not want you to own a $6 million ski lodge with us. BlackRock doesn't want you to own a $30 million beachfront estate in Maui. Okay, it's being bought by the world's elites. This is where they put their money. Most of them don't even live in these properties. You know, they own 10 properties, barely patronize any of them. It sits as a private land bank. And that's what it is, because again, property values go up over time as a central bank prints currency into infinity, destroys the US dollar. And then I'm gonna make one final point. I'll let my dad kind of comment here on some progress reporting as well. But you must understand, this is what they want. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're gonna do now, exactly what Donald Trump is going to do. They want money pouring into crypto. They want to create a dot-com mania. They want you to own it. They're mainstreaming it on purpose now, above 100K. They want your financial advisor to sell it to you. They want, this is key, to create an engineered, inside job, pre-planned crisis in the United States. What's happening? Money's coming out of depository institutions, moving into crypto. Money's flowing out of deposit accounts at the major banks right now into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, into XRP. This means the entire financial system has an extreme systemic event on its hands. And I've been warning not just bank runs, but a liquidity crisis in the US financial system. But you need to understand, this is what they want. They're rooting for the collapse of the modern banking system. They're rooting for bank runs. They want capital controls and emergency executive actions. They're gonna want a giant stock market crash on Donald Trump's head. Why? I'm gonna tell you why, and I knew this from the beginning. It's how I knew about Bitcoin, because they need an excuse to transfer everybody into the new system. They'll defend the dollar, but not the old one they're getting rid of. They're moving us into a new digital equivalent. Whether or not this is a CBDC or it's the digital new system that will be launched by Trump or any other president for that matter, that's how they'll be transitioning everybody, and they'll have an argument for it. Well, we can't let another crisis like this happen again. 2, blockchain technology and artificial intelligence. And why, by the way, blockchain is AI. Bitcoin is AI. Few people understand this. They're going to say we're going to need a new system and new mechanisms to protect in this new environment with all this new innovation, to keep pace and competitiveness with the rest of the world. And that's how they're gonna do a giant handoff into the new digital dollar reset, new normal that they already planned from the beginning. And this is why Bitcoin and crypto has always been a Trojan horse that very few people actually understood, because most people listen to their authority figures. They trust their government. They think they're just being told the truth, even though they're not. They're just following in line. They're institutionalized. I mean, I know so many academics at the highest universities of Harvard and MIT and Yale. The list goes on. And I pitched them Bitcoin 1,000,000 times, and they told me it was a scam, and they told me they didn't understand it. That's because you've been brainwashed by the system. You're actually not that smart. You couldn't figure it out. This is a poker game that is life. You have to understand where all this is headed. So I'm gonna, kind of carry this over to my father here in a minute. I'm very passionate about this because I'm telling you, most Americans' lives are about to be ruined. The majority of people will be sent to universal basic poverty income level very, very soon. They designed it that way for a reason. That'll strip you and remove sovereignty, liberty, and freedom from your lives. It'll make your kids poor by allowing the central bank to print more currency every single year. Debt that exceeds GDP growth creates hyperinflation and steals wealth. And this is, kind of my primary statements that I've been making for so long. It's why I got into Bitcoin, was for freedom, sovereignty, prosperity, and to also give all of our Christian brothers and sisters tools in a very dark world. It's going spiritual too. Mark my words, and I'm using that term for a reason, that you're gonna see now major new payment systems rolled out by the federal government, major new payment systems rolled out by Elon Musk, of which you will not buy or sell without it. They are digitizing everything. The Neuralink chips that Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and others at Synchron have developed are biological integrative mechanisms that work with this entire system. The drones in your sky aren't there to give you faster internet. These are weapons. Expect massive drone swarm wars very soon. A giant earthquake Richter 3-gauge scale BOMB was just dropped in Syria. And we need to pray against that happening, in the United States of America. Like, this is very, very serious. This whole thing has been one big scam setup. They scammed you out of Bitcoin. They scammed you in 2020 and shut down your businesses. The central bank is scamming you by printing currency and creating hyperinflation, more bailouts, more of the debt that we saw in 2020, building on 2008 and 09. So my warning is, we are now reaching a massive pre-mania phase inflection point. It's going to last a little while longer, but it's why I'm telling you all to take profits now. None of you are going to build a time it. It's what I'm doing. You should be taking profits in Bitcoin, profits in XRP across the board. You need to be loading up and hitting tiers at islandproject.com. You're not going to get in, folks. You know, if you're thinking to yourself, man, I missed it. Christopher's a little wild and crazy, but he got it right. He's been right about Bitcoin. I'm telling you, the same thing's going to happen with Island Project. If you don't get in because we close year end, you don't have a minimum of 30 units, you're not hitting tiers at 150, 250, 500, 1,000. You will be watching my father, our team, and all of our members from all around the world 2 years from now in the biggest multi-billion-dollar asset class tokenized in the world. Again, now that Bitcoin has proved itself, validated itself, it's validated my advice. I have to say it's my opinion, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I would never want to be a cruddy financial advisor not recommending Bitcoin. I'm just rich on the internet. I'm the general. I've made you money, for crying out loud. But the point is, we're being led this direction. So there's going to be a massive event, a massive false flag. You're in World War III. I predicted the Ukraine proxy war would lead to what we're seeing in Israel. That's happened. They're destabilizing the Middle East. China will attack Taiwan soon. Why do you think there's drones in our skies and the fake UFO alien invasions right now? They're running psychological operations on the American public, and our enemies are running reconnaissance. Because again, guess what's coming, guys? Massive algorithmic, autonomous, KILLING machines and wars in our skies. When I ran in and met Eric Schmidt years ago, before he was contracted to the DOD and Defense Department, and I've studied all these people, they told me these things were going to happen. It's not even hidden. This is what you need to understand. All you have to do is read and understand where the money is flowing. For example, Peter Thiel, all of his venture capital investments have been in Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain, drones, the things we're seeing now 4 years. The company Anduril, which is private, and I'll probably buy it when it goes public in 2026, is owned by Palmer Luckey, who sold the Oculus to Mark Zuckerberg for billions of dollars. What he does now is builds the same drones in your sky swarming New Jersey. Again, this is not hard to figure out. Bitcoin isn't hard to understand. It's that the American people have been duped. And so I've said my piece there, but my warning is you must get in. You need to get into a real world physical asset with no bank debt. Okay, I'm telling you, pain is coming. Hell is coming. What is coming next? The American people, just like 2020, it's going to be much, much worse. And you need to be preparing now. You need to be realizing profits and taking gains. Don't get caught up in the mania of the mainstream media, just like they touted the .com bubble and then dumped it. And pets.com went to zero. That's not going to happen with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, all these things will take over the entire planet. But my point is they're creating a mania. Wall Street wants the mania for the reasons I just described, because you've been conned by the deep state. The deep state is sending you not just to war, but they're moving you into a new system that they conjured. This has always been a Trojan horse, and you've got to be smarter than the machine, and it's why you need to get rich now. You need to be spiritually rich, number one, in Christ, but number two, you need tools, because you're going to need these resources in the future. I think the whole stock market's going to crash and blow up under Donald Trump. I think they're going to blame him. It's like the deep state just went silent suddenly. Like they're no longer going to attack Trump. I mean, didn't he have like 19 indictments or something? And now it's like it doesn't even exist, proving my point.
Almost too good.
Yeah.
Almost too good to be true.
Yeah, none of this smells right. So I'll carry it over to my father. And Dad, what I'd like you to focus on, which you can take any direction, is just number one, we just want to thank our members, but also progress report. I mean, we have executed, all glory to God. Jesus Christ is King. Every single conviction and target of our business plan accomplished. 1,000x along the way since we launched 2 years ago, 2022 in a bear market, July 4th, declaring our 1776, and explain to people, that progress that we've made and how amazingly we are now posturing for 1,000x tokenization in 2025.
Well, by the way, listen to the general. I know you guys do, and I know you pay attention. I wish I paid better attention 15, 20 years ago when Bitcoin, whenever it was.
10 years, yeah.
10 years ago, right? But he's our Bitcoin expert among many other things. But With regard to the island project, everybody, God bless all of our investors and members. We are, we've been working 24/7, okay? 7 days a week on the project. We're realizing all the good things that we thought were gonna happen. So we've got 4 beautiful properties. We've got, most of the funding is complete. We're trying to close out the island project founders round, so get in. We've got about 40 tier level investors, and I want everybody to get to a tier level that can. We've only got so many spaces for that. I think, Chris, maybe 50, maybe 10 more spots, so move up and get into one of those tier levels as soon as you can.
Yeah, and you really realize the most benefit. I realize not everyone has $1 million, but we've made a lot of people a lot of money, so a lot of our members do. They're millionaires. They listen to what I had to say, what I've been recommending all these years, but you really get the most benefit in the tiers. You get more access to the capital gains, you get more income distributions that we plan on paying out in 25 and 26. Yeah. Another reason to get in now, because you got to get in, you got to be at least in rolling for a year to expect any kind of return or gain on any investment for that matter.
You bring up a good point. Let me just say this too. When we got started, it was a vision. We thought it was going to take 3 years to build out, to raise the capital, build out the island project, create our 10 to 12 property portfolio. So we're right on track. The great news about this is, and I've told a lot of people this, when we got started, we didn't have any data points. We had an idea, we had a vision from Chris Greene, we had a business plan that we've kind of, it was a little fluid. We fine-tuned the business plan as well. But the great news now is we know that our vision is a reality. So expect the Founders Round portfolio to be complete by the end of 2025. We're going to close out the capital raise very soon, so get in and get into one of those tier levels. But here's some really good news. We had no data points when we got started. A little over 2 years into this thing, we have a lot of data points. One of them is all the traffic to the website, to the Island Project website. More importantly, all the traffic that we've had to Dealmaker, our secure investor portal, that really shows us how many investors are either going to make the investment or how many investors are serious enough to consider it, right? So that's where we come up. You've heard me mention this before. It's $1 billion plus market for what we're doing. So when Chris talks about getting in on the ground level of something great, he means it, and I mean it. So we've got these hard numbers, and if everybody that is coming to Dealmaker and that is at least partially subscribed or completed an agreement, if we had all of those people migrated into an island project, there's 5 other island projects out there. That's how many. That's how much interest we have in what we're doing. So, what's the benefit to you? You're in the Founders Round. So either you get all these great things we're doing, and the Founders Round portfolio, unless somebody wants to exit out, it's going to be here 10 years from now, 15 years from now.
Great legacy investment.
Creating income, okay, growing the portfolio, creating a lot of appreciation, but with the tokenization and our intent to tokenize the portfolio, that could be a huge, huge event. And even outside of the tokenization, again, we have about 4 or 5 other island projects out there in Dealmaker right now, potential island projects. So I just can't encourage everybody enough to, number one, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
To everybody that stepped up and made the investment. And I know when you get started in something like this, it looks a little esoteric. Now that you're all out visiting the property portfolio, and by the way, we want everybody to come out in 2025 that can make it, visit one of the properties. It just cements everything that much more. So congratulations, guys. Get in the next 30 days, get to a tier level. If you're thinking about making the investment, you have to, at the very least, give me a phone call. Let me know that you're going to come in with 30 units or 100 units, and I'll try to hold those for you. But we're very close to closing out the Founders Round portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a very, simple concept to understand. Like we were speaking with some of our good friends and investors, and he was like, telling his buddies, yeah, hey, I'm headed out to Park City. They're like, well, where are you going? I'm staying at my multi-million-dollar property I own as a part of Island Project. Like, this is very easy to understand. We've created the best real estate property portfolio in the world in the most exclusive Maui Booyah locations. We own the best. There is no bank debt. It can never go away. It's a legacy asset inheritable to your kids. I mean, look at, handsome, beautiful Austin here. We've built this along with my members for your children. It's going to be here, just like my dad said, decades and decades from now. You can also use it. It's a private parallel economy ecosystem. It's fun. It's a lifestyle enhancement. It's not like a stock. What do you do? Show your wife, hey, honey, check this out. I own a stock. Check out this nice piece of paper. You think she's going to be impressed? She's not. She's going to be impressed skiing with you, enjoying your actual life while you still have breath in your lungs. She's going to appreciate walking, taking a stroll on the beach. You're going to have fun interacting in an interactive investment with real people as a part of our network. And you also get, private access to me, my father, any other business opportunities, crypto, blockchain. That's a huge value. I mean, our members are making money left and right in every single area, whether or not it's crypto advice, or it's the project, or it's just a better life. And we also need to just understand, where things are headed demographically. The future of all ownership is tokenized and fractional. And what is that going to do to properties? Push the prices even higher. Because again, the elites have already told you that you will own nothing and be happy and eat bugs. Well, our members aren't eating bugs. We're getting rich. We're the charitable people. We're the actual people donating to charities, giving to the churches, raising people up, doing Bible studies on Saturday, on the Sabbath, going to church on Sundays. We're actually the good guys fighting BlackRock on your behalf. We're not sitting on Wall Street just getting rich ourselves like a bunch of money-grubbing, hungry Goldman Sachs executives. These people don't like you guys. These people were partying their butts off in 2020 while they locked you in your house and closed down your businesses. These are very, very evil people. So I'm not going to go on too much of a rant. But the point is, if you've been waiting, if you've been hesitating, this is your moment. Put the pedal to the metal. Always go big. Always bet on yourself and bet on God. Pray about it. I tell people this all the time. If you're on the fence, ask God. Pray. Pray. Tell him ask him if it's the right move to come in. I hear that all the time from people like, Christopher, I did just that and I did pray and he told me to come in. And then they come in with 250 units or 1,000.
No, I hear
it's amazing.
I hear it all the time too, for sure. But that speaks to the great community that we have too. So there's all the great things Christopher talks about with the Island Project, and I'll give my 2 cents about everything that we're doing. But one thing we don't talk enough about is we have about 350 like-minded, beautiful people that are taking this walk with us, and we have this great investor community, and it's powerful. And I always like to tell people now that we've the ark is pretty much full. We're actually sailing a little bit right now. So it's going to be great to get everybody on board, full sail. We can really operate the business and the business plan because frankly, for the last 2+ years, we've been working like crazy to get all you people in the boat.
Oh yeah, it's been fun, and it's been an honor to serve, and we love our members. I mean, I know how many calls you've had. I think I've had 50 or 60 this month too, just reaching out to people, having conversations.
I'm on the phone all day, every day, sometimes at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, well, we're very grateful. I just want to encourage you that you're really in the best investment in the world. You're in the biggest opportunity in the world, so get in. Make the good move. I mean, I joke all the time, but it's truth. I wouldn't be married to my beautiful wife and have all these beautiful children if I had hesitated when I saw a good thing. No, I didn't hesitate. I jumped out of my chair. I'm going to marry that girl. Seriously, I mean, I knew the minute I saw her. So it's the same thing in business and life and investing and personal relationships and even spiritually in your faith. Go for it. I don't know what people are waiting for. And this is also why I'm advising profit taking. A lot of you have asked me, Christopher, I want to step up into a higher tier. Should I do it now? Yes. We're already at Bitcoin 107K. Like, I think we're going to go a little bit higher, but I'm telling you, you're not going to build a time taking a gain. Take the gain. My advice has been best in the world, and then understand what's my advice now. My advice is to get into tokenized real world assets with us so you're on the ground floor of the next 1000X.
This is the next.
This is it. This is bigger than Bitcoin, guys.
This is the next big thing. And nobody's doing it the way we're doing it. right? I think everybody knows that is a member, is an investor, but for you new investors that might be thinking about coming on board, want to know what the Island Project is, you're buying true fractional ownership, not in a property, but in a portfolio of properties called the Island Project Founders Round. You got true fractional ownership. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You own a piece of the rock. It just depends on how big a piece of the rock that you want to own. There's other benefits, appreciation, operating income. You get time of use at the property. If you're a tier level investor, you get some additional benefits and some additional use of the property portfolio. But when you wrap all that together and you can actually come out, reach out, touch, and use your investment, it's something special. And nobody is doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and we democratize access from a first mover advantage standpoint, regardless if you've got 30 units or more with us. But I do want to encourage you, we've got more properties under contract. So if you want to take advantage of use, you need to get in and step into that 1,000 tier now. You need to hit 500. You need to take 250 or 150 and hit those different tiers. And let me just quickly show them, and then we'll just wrap up here because we've got to hit the slopes today. But if you go to our website, islandproject.com, you can see where it says Park City Booyah. If you scroll down there, it shows the tiers. Talk to my dad about this for all the details, and make sure you're booking now in advance. Make sure you're getting in. Don't wait. Don't wait until like you can't access the opportunity, is what I'm telling you. So we love you. It's an honor. Expect an acquisition in Thailand as well. This is an internationally diverse investment. It is an opportunity really to just grow where the trend is. And the trend is you need to be thinking outside of the box. You need to be getting into digital real estate backed by a physical asset. This is the future. Tokenized real world assets, physical assets themselves that are also operating on a blockchain, which is what we've built, first mover in the world, is the future of all this new technology, even Bitcoin. Bitcoin you will borrow money against to buy Island Project in the future. You will borrow on DEXs to invest in real world assets. It's even what Trump is doing with his new crypto company. So like you need to understand, like follow where the trend is, follow where the money is, and then always be the first mover when not everyone understands it. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. The reason why there were 1,000,000% gains when I first recommended it is because most people kind of wrote it off, didn't understand what it was. Now they're buying now, and they'll still probably do well in the future over a long enough time frame, but you're buying at 100K now, guys. You're not getting in under 1,000. It's the same with Island Project. By the time you figure it out, by the time our property portfolio has 5 flagships, okay, and 150 properties, it's too late. You missed tokenization, you missed the opportunity, you missed the community, you're not a founder, okay? And at that point, we're sailing, multi-billion-dollar asset class, and the entire real estate component tokenized is gonna be in the trillions, because that's how big real estate and physical assets are tokenized. I love you all. Thank you so much. The Dream Greene team here, we love you. We do it for you, truly. It is an honor, and all glory to God too. Just we know that we wouldn't be here. We would not have had this success without him and his governance. Every property we've acquired truly has been a blessing, including the ones in the future. And we're just very, very thankful. So I want to congratulate you guys and motivate you. Live your best life this year. Don't wait until your diagnosis when the doctor tells you you have terminal illness. Okay, don't wait for the next lockdown where your European vacation plans or trip to Maui is canceled. What are you waiting for? The biggest scam in the world is to wait. Go big now. Get rich now. Live the best life now. Have children now. Go skiing now. Drive the freaking Lamborghini now. I mean, I do it even in honor of my brother, my late brother, Cody. Again, go big, guys. Grow the freaking diamond nuts. And for my ladies, the diamond ovaries. It's really good advice. It's good advice. Stop waiting around. You're not going to be struck by lightning. No, the guy that takes advantage of the opportunity is going to win. And that guy or gal should be you at islandproject.com. So here are terms and disclaimers. We'll never reach out to you on WhatsApp. We're not connecting with you guys like friend requesting on Facebook or anything like that. The only way you can invest is at our official website, islandproject.com, or we're speaking with a FaceTime. Request it with me or my dad.
Exactly.
And your number, give it one more time.
It's 808-442-2934 again.
That's 808-442-2934.
That's right, Austin. Are you going to call me?
Yeah.
God bless, guys. We love you. Have a beautiful day. Congratulations on
God bless
these
everybody.
massive moves and record profits.
Happy holidays.
God bless.